Manager.
You can get financing with no down payment and make no payments until 1996 on any new Nissan.
You can't have too much of a good thing.
Actually, you get more. A Nissan truck is up to $2,300 less than a comparably equipped Toyota. Nissan's clearance sales event.
You got all the time in the world.
Not really. This event ends October 2nd, so why wait?
Now there's a way to make Mondays feel just as good as Saturdays with these smart new styles from Target. Sweaters and skirts, shirts and jumpers in rich fall colors, starting at just $9.99. So if looking great and feeling good are on your agenda, come to Target for clothes that really work.
Bringing you the spirit of the Northwest, we are KATU. Now, Channel 2 News.
A gunman opens fire, killing a woman and her 3 young children. Good evening, I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Steve Dunk. Good evening. Tonight, police say that gunman was her estranged husband. As Barbara Wood shows us, the news of this violence has shaken the small Oregon town of Scotts Mills.
The cold-blooded murder of Laura Whitson and her children, ages 6, 3, and 6 months old, along with the arrest of her estranged husband, David, have stunned this small farming community. Scotts Mills resident Kevin Speltz has school-aged children of his own. When he picked them up from school, he tried to explain to them what happened.
Could you find the words to tell them why?
No.
I have a neighbor that's very upset. I had to come and drive her back up because she's helped this family, and apparently this man, they knew he was dangerous or that something wasn't right, and I don't know. It's just very scary.
Laura Whitson had moved in with her mother, Margaret McGee, after her separation from David Whitson. McGee was also shot and is the only one who survived.
Then I heard another shot. I came down to the corner and looked around, and I saw this guy running around the yard, and I saw people laying in that were laying there in the yard. So,
shocked over what they had just seen, witnesses held the suspect down until police arrived. Usually, Scotts Mills is virtually untouched by the type of violence known to big city living. A quadruple homicide is virtually unthinkable.
This is Scotts Mills. We're tucked out here in the foothills of the Cascade, 100 miles from civilization. Things like this don't happen. We're a nice little town.
While police sort through the evidence at the crime scene, residents try to deal with the idea that such violence could destroy a family and rattle their quiet town. In Scotts Mills, Barbara Wood, Channel 2 News.
David Whitson is behind bars without bail. He'll be arraigned tomorrow morning on 4 counts of aggravated murder. That charge carries a potential death penalty.
A gunfight in northeast Portland leaves 1 man dead. Police say a man standing on his porch got into an argument with a car full of people tonight. The group started throwing bottles at his house, then took off. They came back. That's when the gunfire started. 33-year-old Forrest Bell was shot in the head. He later died. Police don't believe this to be gang-related, but they are searching for a suspect tonight. Shelley Shannon still has 7 years to serve for shooting an abortion doctor, but now the Grants Pass woman wants a new trial. And today, her lawyers asked the Kansas Supreme Court to give her just that. At issue, whether the Oregon woman intended to kill the doctor or whether she simply wanted to stop abortions. The court will announce its decision in late October. Just last week, a federal court here sentenced Shannon to 20 years for firebombing West Coast clinics. A showdown between Oregon environmentalists and loggers leads to 20 arrests. More than 100 protesters were trying to stop a controversial timber sale near Grants Pass. When they crossed a roadblock, police started making arrests. Boise Cascade wants to harvest almost 10 million board feet worth of timber in the area. Some trees are more than 400 years old. Congress has exempted this particular sale from court challenges.
Either you or someone you know has probably run the Hood to Coast Relay. The annual race from Mount Hood to the coast at Seaside attracts 40,000 runners and spectators. But many are fed up with the trash and human waste that gets left in their yards along the way, and they're pushing to reroute the race. Many of the 24 residents in the town of Birkenfeld would just as soon see the race go away. They're right along the route.
They think, you know, they're a boon to this community. They're making us a bundle of money and stuff. We wouldn't mind if they come through, if they just be polite. Don't play their radios in the middle of the night. Don't block people's driveways.
Well, tonight the Seaside City Council met to discuss this issue. A Hood to Coast spokesperson told the council they will work to address the concerns of the residents. A list of those concerns will now be turned over to Hood to Coast officials. For those of you who enjoy the Oktoberfest in Southeast Portland, you'll get again this year to enjoy it, despite neighborhood opposition. Oktoberfest attracts about 40,000 people to Oaks Park every September. Neighbors living near the park say partiers clog city streets and disrupt the neighborhood. Oktoberfest organizers agreed to monitor beer sales and provide better traffic control. An impromptu meeting called by Smith's CEO led to new questions about whether the furnishings chain would remain open. Glenn Grodum, the owner of the store, gave employees an hour's notice of the meeting tonight. About 30 to 40 employees did show up at the Tigard store. It lasted about an hour. When workers left, they said it was just a meeting to dispel rumors about the company's demise.
Strictly optional meeting. We didn't have to come. It was real casual, and he just wanted to be here to answer questions and help alleviate some fears that people might have about where we're going.
So where are you going?
Well, hopefully a long ways.
Smith's closed for about a week in August, but reopened under a plan approved by a bankruptcy judge and creditors.
A Georgia family makes its case against General Motors. Thomas and Elaine Mosley have finally settled a lawsuit with GM. 4 years ago, a jury awarded them $105 million after their son died in a crash involving a truck with side-saddle gas tanks. An appeals court then threw it out, saying that was too much money. Well, now the new secret settlement. About 50 other lawsuits against GM are still pending, including one by this woman, Ann Kirkwood of Bend, Oregon. Kirkwood was badly burned, her granddaughter killed in a similar accident. Last week, Kirkwood filed a $260 million lawsuit. In other news across America tonight, from suburban Baltimore, a bomb explodes in a van at a shopping mall. It killed 5 people, including a young girl. All that's left of the van, the frame. A glove compartment landed half a mile away. Police blame an explosive device, but are still allowing for the possibility that it was all an accident.
From Detroit, a fast food mistake turns tragic. Witnesses say a customer got angry when he received a hamburger with pickles on it at the Raleigh drive-thru. After an argument with a worker, they say the man sped off, then returned later with a gun and started firing. 2 people were shot. Police arrested the suspect.
And at a pallet plant near Dallas, Texas, it took dozens of fire departments to get a 7-alarm blaze under control. Low water pressure from the nearby wells made it difficult for crews to battle flames. Neighbors hosed down their roofs to help save their homes, but some were too close and couldn't be saved. This is the second fire at the plant in the last 5 years. Now Bob Packwood. Today is his birthday, and with his resignation from the U.S. Senate, there's no lack of people wanting to take his place. Today, Republican Norma Paulus, Oregon school superintendent, announced she's a candidate, but there are plenty of others already in the race. Representatives Ron Wyden, Elizabeth Furs, Peter DeFazio, and Bend businessman Harry Lonsdale on the Democratic side. Now let's take a look at the Republicans. State Senate President Gordon Smith, Labor Commissioner Jack Roberts, and Beaverton businessman Bill Witt all joined Paulus. Still undecided, former Governor Barbara Roberts and Congressman Jim Bunn and Wes Cooley.
Another politician is fighting back after being accused of having affairs tonight. House Speaker Newt Gingrich is angry with Vanity Fair editor Gail Sheehy. A magazine article claims Gingrich had affairs with a number of women in the 1970s. Gingrich says he talked with Sheehy, but she ended up tearing him apart. Sheehy is sticking by her story tonight. And presidential candidate Pete Wilson's campaign is sputtering tonight. Wilson has been forced to shut down his Iowa campaign operation. Campaign managers say they'll concentrate on states where Wilson will do better, but other candidates say pulling out of the Iowa caucuses is, in effect, pulling out of the race.
You're watching Channel 2 News. Still to come, the great glove controversy goes before the Simpson jurors.
Are American super-secret stealth planes going to fight in the skies over Bosnia?
And up later, the Christmas shopping season takes off with a present you've got to see to believe.
Hi, Ron Carlson here. We'll show you a 99-yard touchdown pass from the Packers-Bears game tonight. And hey, who kept Deion Sanders from getting more money out of the Cowboys? See you later for Channel 2 Sports.
And a weather forecast that's not really fit for September. I'll have it for you when I come back.
I'm Cokie Roberts. Coming up on Nightline, can a sneaker company and a football team join forces to try to buy a Super Bowl? Try Nike and the Dallas Cowboys. The deal has other owners crying foul tonight.
Miniature
Sure, animals are more popular than ever, but are we sacrificing the well-being of these creatures by breeding them small? Tomorrow at 5.
Right now, the family's in real trouble.
Every family has secrets, but theirs make the headlines.
They look like the Herbs walk into the OK Corral.
William Devane, Susan Sullivan.
What is my daughter doing with the president?
The Monroes, this fall on ABC.
You can sell a guy 2 of our $200 suits for a $400 total, which is what he's probably spending on one suit at a department store. I guarantee it.
Now open in Lloyd Center, lower level near Marshall's. At the Home Depot, we're committed to low prices. In fact, if you ever find any item for less, we won't just meet it, we'll beat it. And that's on brand names in every department, from paint to hardware to building materials. Every item for every project. Glide beautifully through any painting project with a 4-pack of roller covers from Linzer, just $282. They'll give you a quality, great-looking finish. And you'll find them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
Oh, I developed a taste for coffee when I was about 5 years old. I was a very nervous child. Just kidding. Now I own a coffee shop. I use US West Cellular service all the time. I call the bakery. I call home. I call my wife. I can call my mom. I can call the growers to find out where the fresh beans are. I can call Brazil. That's South America. The pizza guy can call me, kind of a switcheroo. I can pretend I'm talking to someone and not be talking at all. Actually, I have to do this first, the flipping, and then talk. It's called US West Cellular service.
It's a big deal when hot and cool connect.
Hot Eats, cool treats, a Dairy Queen.
Want a bargain? Get a move on to Dairy Queen for the 3-for-all, only $2.99. Get a 1/3 pound deluxe double cheeseburger. Add an order of golden fries and a big 21-ounce soft drink. Put them all together, and you've got a 3-for-all for just $2.99 now at Dairy Queen.
Hot Eats, cool treats, we treat you right.
In the spirit of the Northwest, Channel 2 News continues.
It's keeping the pressure up in Bosnia. The Tomahawk cruise missiles did exactly what they were supposed to: destroy Serb anti-aircraft radar systems. Serb leaders call the attacks barbaric and say they could jeopardize peace talks. Serbs claim they'll pull back from Sarajevo if the UN guarantees that Bosnian forces will not overrun Serb residents. But UN and NATO officials say that's just another Serb stalling tactic. Now, NATO says it's firing the Tomahawk missiles away from civilians. Our Channel 2 animation shows why the Tomahawk is so accurate. It's launched from a ship's deck, and the missile's guidance system compares the terrain to its computer maps, and that leads exactly to its target. The last time the Tomahawk was used was in the 1993 attack against Iraq.
The Pentagon may also call its radar-evading stealth fighters into action against the Bosnia Serbs. And the U.S. is waiting for permission from the Italian government to use its military base to land the F-117A attack jets. Rescue crews near Seattle are still searching the waters for the wreckage of a helicopter that crashed this morning. 2 nurses died and a pilot is missing. The medical helicopter was going to Bainbridge Island to pick up a woman in labor when it crashed into Eagle Harbor. Tomorrow, search crews will send a submersible sonar 700 feet down into the water to look for any objects resembling a helicopter.
Federal investigators say it could take up to 6 months to find out what caused a small airplane to crash into a Virginia home last night. That's because there was no flight data box or cockpit voice recorder on board the twin-engine Beechcraft. The pilot, 10 skydivers, and the homeowner died instantly when the plane slammed into the home. Prosecutors at the O.J. Simpson trial tried again today to link Simpson with the bloody gloves found by police. The jurors saw photos and videotapes of Simpson wearing snug leather gloves from his days as a TV sports commentator. They were similar to those admitted as evidence. Also today, the prosecution reluctantly began its rebuttal. Now, normally the defense rests its case, but Simpson's attorneys refused. So Judge Ito ordered the switch to keep the trial moving.
Here's one of those stories you've really got to wonder about. It seems 1,500 people gathered at an airfield in Bulgaria today. Psychics had told them 8 spaceships would land, bringing aliens who would help pay off the country's $13 billion foreign debt. Well, the psychics claim the aliens didn't show because the Bulgarian president refused to meet with them. Now, I'm actually just kind of surprised they didn't charge these people to show up.
Yeah, that's one way to raise money. Up next here on Channel 2 News, it's not what you'd expect to find in your neighborhood. We're going to tell you about a surprise guest.
And it's your big chance to buy the White House. Well, sort of.
our continuing effort to make sure our new Kia sedan was well prepared for life in the hard, cruel world, we sent it to school. The school of hard knocks.
There, this is our side over here. Try to stay off the curb. Yeah, good, very good.
We gave our cars to this place of learning, knowing they'd be well tested. We're passing with flying colors and selling for $3,000 less than a Honda Civic. Looks like we aced economics. Kia, because it's about time everyone had a well-made car.
$750 rebate or 2.9% financing available.
I just don't get it. I mean, I'm an upstanding young guy. Good looking, I think. But whenever I go to pick up a date and I'm introduced to her parents, they look at me like I'm some kind of weirdo. I mean, sometimes they insist on chaperoning us. I mean, I'm 26 for crying out loud. I just don't understand.
What's in the name? Everything. That's why there's Q Lube Oil Change Centers, a Quaker State company. Now that's a name you can trust.
Space. In electronics and appliance stores, it's the new frontier. Which is why at Incredible Universe we have over 185,000 square feet of space. 5 times the space of most other stores, with 5 times the inventory. Lots of space. About what you'd expect from a store named Incredible Universe.
Patience is a virtue.
But why wait? Now during Nissan's clearance sales event, it's a great time to get your best deal.
Cars are all the same.
But only one can be Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year.
Life has its ups and downs.
Actually, there's no down payment on a 96 Maxima, and it's just $319 a month for a 36-month lease. Or get financing with no down payment and no payments until 96 on an Altima. Plus, there are great deals on a Sentra during Nissan's clearance sales event.
Rock and roll will live forever.
But this year-end event won't, so why wait?
From the Animal File tonight, a story that might have you running for the trees. People in Murphy, Idaho have more than the usual dogs and cats running around, particularly cats. Neighbors came out of their homes to find a mountain lion perched up in the tree. A little while and a tranquilizer dart later, the cat was on its way to a better home, or at least a more welcome one, I guess, huh?
Hey, they're just enjoying that nice sunny weather there in Idaho, just like we're having.
Wasn't bothering anybody.
Up there purring, probably.
That's right.
Cats like to climb.
Ooh, we had some warm days over the weekend, Matt.
We sure did, and we're going to see a few more warm ones. You know, the last time we hit 90 here in town was back on September 1st. Just one day there in a row, so it's been a while. But not as long as you might think. We've hit 90 8 times so far this summer, and we're going to do it at least once this week, if not more. Let's check outside right now. We have some pictures for you of the, well, what was a full moon over the weekend, the harvest moon. Beautiful, beautiful sight tonight. Rose around, 8:30, 9 o'clock or so, and it's really quite pretty. And this was taped back around then. Out there, it is still clear. You can see that big bright moon up in the sky, 66 degrees, so it's a pretty warm evening. The freezing level is at 14,800 feet. All right, so take a look at pollen right now. And it's low. It's going to stay low right on through the week. We won't have any problems with it for the most part. It may come up a little bit, though, with the hot weather setting in. Today was pretty nice. Now, we would have been hotter had we not had that morning cloud cover, but the sun's energy, instead of going towards heating the air, it had to burn off those clouds first. So we didn't get quite as warm. 81 at Portland State downtown, weather where you are. 79 at Benson High. 78 at Hazelbrook down in Tualatin. Here are the satellite pictures. Lots of clouds, big mess of them down here over the southeastern Pacific, and they're just swirling around in place there. And the rest of them moving on up into central Canada, not even southern BC. The jet stream cruising up and around us like this. Warm air south of it, cold air north of it. It is well to our north, so all this warm air that's been over the southwest has spread up into our neck of the woods. So the sunshine continues. In fact, it's going to continue for quite a while. The big question is, when's it going to move? I think it's going to be at least 5 days before this warm weather really moves out. Because one thing that's happening right now is that the heat low is building up from the south. That's where you have the hottest air and the lowest pressure. With that, we tend to get an east wind here in northwest Oregon, and that's going to happen tomorrow. So we're going to see some hot air descend down the gorge. And that's going to be the way it is until this low moves in, and I'm calling that a summer ender, because once it does move along, we'll get some showers out of it. But right now, it's got its own little jet stream, if you will. It's not really a jet stream, just its circulation, keeping it in place. And it really doesn't look like it's going to be moving anywhere for quite a while. When it does, we could get some sprinkles. This is what gave us this same kind of storm. It gave us the thunderstorms back on Labor Day weekend. So we have to watch these really close because they are kind of tricky to forecast. Nationally today, a lot of nice weather here in the west. They are over 100 down in Phoenix. Nothing unusual about that. Back east, it's been cool and dry. 34 in Youngstown, Ohio this morning for a record low. Binghamton, New York, 38. And it's been so dry, it's probably going to affect the fall color show up in the Northeast. It may not be quite as bright this year because they just haven't had the rain. And down in the Southeast, they've had a lot of rain. They had over 6 inches in North Carolina in just 6 hours, over 2 inches down in West Palm Beach today, and some thunderstorms forming on the other side of the Rockies. This is the same storm that gave us thunderstorms a week ago. It's really taken a long time just to move inland a bit. All right, tomorrow in Denver, 77, 104 Phoenix, LA getting some hot weather, up to 93 too. A bit of a Santa Ana breeze blowing there, 91 down in Honolulu tomorrow as well. All right, our forecast now for the coast and valleys of Oregon. Sunshine. There's going to be some patchy fog in the morning hours. I don't think it'll be a problem for commuting here in town, but it could be thick on the beaches, so keep that in mind if you're there. In the gorge, light winds, lots of sunshine. Cascades, lots of sunshine. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Central and eastern Oregon, sunny as well. You'll see overnight lows in the 30s and 40s and highs tomorrow, generally in the 80s, but 94 out in the Dalles. West side of the state, 88 in Portland tomorrow, 90 in Salem. I think we'll bag 90 on Wednesday. It'll be 76 in Tillamook tomorrow. On the coast, small craft advisories from Florence southward. The wind's picking up there out of the north, about 30, 35. All right, our forecast for tomorrow, sunny and warm. In fact, you could even call that hot if you want. Patchy fog in the morning, but 88 degrees will be the high. 5-day forecast comes up next.
Shopping for a TV? The best place to buy one is Circuit City, with over 150 TVs to pick from. Great big TVs. And even TVs with built-in VCRs. The right screen size, the right features. Even exciting new home theater systems. And right now, take home this GE 25-inch stereo TV with remote for the guaranteed unbeatable low price of $279.97. So get the picture, the big picture. The best place to buy your new TV is Circuit City right now.
This is where I work, but this is what my job is all about.
We're a non-profit recycling company, and we look for help wherever we can get it.
I wanted to look for the best way that I could help my community.
A lot of our help comes from Janet Maxwell and the folks at Wal-Mart.
All you have to do is get out there, participate, and be willing to learn.
She's on about every committee that's available around this area.
I think it's very important to be the green coordinator for Wal-Mart. And I'm absolutely positive everyone can make a difference with recycling.
Every time you make a long-distance call, AT&T sends out a signal to check the quality of the line, automatically routing around trouble before you've even finished dialing. Because in business, it all comes back to getting your calls through. Guaranteed network reliability at a competitive price.
Linda, I'd like to bounce an idea off.
Only from AT&T for the life of your business.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Blazer, the only sport utility vehicle with the driver control system. It's nice to know it's here.
Test drive the all-new Blazer today at your Northwest Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Well, I just gave the 5-day forecast an extra click, so it's not there anymore. Let's take a look at something else, because this means nothing. And I can tell you what the 5-day forecast is going to be. It's going to be sunny. And we'll get up to about 88 tomorrow, 90 on Wednesday, and then slowly cool down into the 80s.
I don't believe you. I want to see it.
Yeah. I was trigger happy. That's all it was. I'll have it for you at the end of the show if we have a less look.
You just know a lot of sunshine on the way.
And a warm temperature.
Okay.
That's all we need to hear. Thanks, man.
Well, it's hard to believe when we talk about these sunshine and warm temperatures that Christmas may still be months away, but you'll need to start saving now to afford some of the year's hottest gifts in the Neiman Marcus catalog. For those with something a little different in mind, how about your name painted on the nose of a new Boeing 777 plane? It comes with a year's worth of unlimited travel for two. Starting bid
$100,000. And look at that. What do you think, Steve?
Hey.
Huh? Huh?
Did you guys get that for me for my birthday?
I went ahead and got that for your birthday. I fronted the money up.
If we weren't on the news, I'd give you a big hug. Well, I'll tell you, if none of that strikes your fancy, thank you, Jeff. How about a bit of history? You can buy the White House for just $8.5 million. Okay, it's not the White House in Washington, D.C. It's a 27,000-foot replica near San Francisco. It has about 100 fewer rooms than original, but it does come complete with cherry trees and rose gardens. So in case you're wondering, why is that thing worth $8.5 million? You get some cherry trees, you get some rose gardens.
Rose garden.
Huh?
If you buy it every morning when you get up and go outside, all these reporters follow you around, calling you Mr. President.
Exactly.
Hey, an important decision expected in the NBA tomorrow.
Going to have that vote, right, on the decertification. We'll follow that for everybody tomorrow.
Good.
Okay. And keep you up to date on that. As in the meantime, we're talking about baseball. Those wild card races stay wild in both leagues. Can the Mariners stay in the race? We'll take a swing at Channel 2 Sports next.
Buhner stands and watches it go.
Excuse me. Did you have Total for breakfast today?
No.
Still think you got all of its vitamins and minerals?
Probably.
Rondo! Let's see what you ate, shall we? Breakfast, not very high in vitamins, eh, bucko? Lunch, not too bad. Oh, let's just skip this one. Dinner, you're trying. And the results, a bit short on some of these vitamins. You know, 3 out of 4 adults miss something. So try Total. It has 100% of 11 of the many vitamins and minerals you need. Wake up to Total.
Back when the future was some far-off time from now, I thought we'd all be hopping rockets, heading for the moon. But I'm still as far from the moon as I ever was, slowly realizing the space that counts is right here on Earth, right here in Oregon, right smack between you and me. What I do today is the future. How I get there matters.
TriMet leaves for the future every few minutes. Hop on.
Watch for falling prices.
We see the prices falling.
It makes quite a bit of noise back here.
I would sound like money, like change falling.
It means that I can buy things for a lot cheaper here.
We got the lantern battery and the grape cranberry juice.
A coffee pot, fish food.
Like Charmin.
I came to buy a bedspread, and I got everything.
Who doesn't like something that goes down in price, you know?
That's why I come to Walmart.
We're proud to announce that lease terms on the 1995 Trooper are not only the lowest they've been all year, but at $299 a month and 0 down, they're really something to think about. Like, how do you actually put 0 down? And if you put 0 down, how does anyone know you really put it down? And if you wash your pants with 0 down in the pocket, will you find it later in the dryer? It's a paradox inside of a riddle wrapped in an enigma.
For the first time in their history, the Mariners are actually playing games that mean something in September. Tonight, they came into their matchup with the Twins with a half-game lead over the Yankees in the American League wild card race. The Twins get off to an early lead, but Jay Buhner brings the M's back right here. It's a fly, it's high, it's goodbye. Seattle builds a 6-3 lead, but the Twins come back like liver and onions. Bobby Ayala cannot play catch with Dan Wilson right here, and the Twins win a wild one in Seattle. Minnesota 12, Seattle 10. Jack McDowell couldn't get anyone out earlier this year. Tonight, like one of the untouchables. The Indians were like window shoppers in this one, just looking. McDowell, a 4-hit shutout, gets all the support he needs coming up right here. Bernie Williams, the RBI single in the third, and the Yankees shut out Cleveland by a score of 4-0. So now the Yankees lead the American League wild card race by a half game over the M's. The Yanks have now won 11 of their last 13. The Red Sox have now lost 4 in a row. Detroit knocks off the Jays in 10, and the Angels pull down the White Sox 4-1. Would the Dodgers take over sole possession of first place in the National League West? They would not. Sammy Sosa, like a good cabbie here, he drives Mark Grace home. The Cubs with the good D2, Kevin Foster. Put down a 1-3 in your scorebooks and also put down a 12-1 win for the Cubs. So where the Rockies take sole possession of first, Atlanta's David Justice. It's steep. It's deep. It lands in the seats that are cheap. It's a 3-run shot. The Braves go up 3-zip. But the lead lasts as long as one of Liz Taylor's husbands. Colorado forces extra innings, then wins it in the bottom of the 12th. The Rockies take a 1-game lead over the Dodgers after beating the Braves 5-4. Now, if the Braves had won, they could have clinched at least a share of the National League East title. The Reds need 11 innings to beat the Marlins. The Mets can't get home against the Expos. Pittsburgh cuts down the Padres, and the Giants are shuffled by the Cards. All right, Monday Night Football in Chicago, and Brett Favre was looking ready to pick those Bears apart like a vulture in this one. Robert Brooks hauls in the airmail special there, but here comes the big one. Favre is going to find Brooks as wide open as an all-night supermarket. This is a long order out on this one. 99 yards. The Packers build a 21-0 lead, but it nearly slips away. Rashaan Salam runs it in from the 8 here. The Bears get within 3, but the Packers hold on. Green Bay 27, Chicago 24.
You hurt me in negotiations. I think we could have squeezed a little more out of Jerry. But she's down there in Fort Myers talking about, yes, I want my son to play for Dallas Cowboys. And I call, I say, Mom, negotiating. You can't say stuff like that.
That was Deion Sanders talking about his new deal with the Dallas Cowboys. It became official today. Now, this guy's having a little trouble. Notre Dame head coach Lou Holtz heading for the operating table tomorrow, suffering a severe compression of the spinal cord, a condition that needs immediate attention. Doctors say without the surgery, Holtz could risk paralysis. He'll be out for about 3 weeks. It's the first time in 26 years of coaching that Holtz has missed a practice or a game. All right, time now for that part of our show that makes him stop waxing the trucks at the Polk County Fire Station. It's time for the play of the night. Nothing really dramatic about this one. Ozzie Smith turning a double play, something he's done hundreds of times, and that's the point. This was his 1,553rd double play. That ties Luis Aparicio for the all-time Major League double play record for shortstops. No record-setting performance here. Just a nice play by Reds outfielder Reggie Sanders up against the wall to rob Terry Pendleton of a home run. But the play with the most bite to it tonight takes place in Chicago. On the extra point, some fan comes leaping out of the stands to catch the ball. Problem is, it's a 20-foot drop after the catch, but the guy doesn't break his leg, holds on. No prize, of course, for winning, not even a trip through Steve Dunn's House of Puns, which can be a very punishing experience, so we're glad that he didn't win that, actually.
Kind of pick on Steve night tonight, isn't it?
It kind of is, Steve, and we know you enjoy it.
Yes. Well, thanks for teaming up, you two.
Yeah, you're welcome.
When we come back, we're going to take you to a dog show in Colorado. It's not a beauty contest. This one's for brains and brawn. We'll show you.
How do you turn an ugly bathroom into a remodeled bathroom? AM Northwest and the Fall Home and Garden Show know how. We're looking for the ugliest bathroom in Oregon and Southwest Washington. Send a photo to AM Northwest. If we select yours, you can receive a $5,000 bathroom remodel. Watch for details, sponsored by the Portland Fall Home and Garden Show, Progressive Builders Northwest, and AM Northwest.
You know, people always ask, how can I tell if I'm a redneck? Well, if you consider a six-pack of beer and a bug zapper quality entertainment, you might be a redneck. If you wear a dress that is strapless with a bra that isn't, you might be a redneck. How about if Thanksgiving dinner was ruined because you ran out of ketchup? You might be a redneck. If you've ever taken a beer to a job interview, you might be a redneck. If you see a sign that says say no to crack and it reminds you to pull your jeans up, you might be a redneck. If you think Old Yeller is a movie about your brother's tooth, you might be a redneck. Or if you have to check your shirt to spell your name, you might be a redneck. If you've ever been too drunk to fish, you might be a redneck.
The Jeff Foxworthy Show premieres this fall on ABC.
You might be a redneck.
In a seedy metropolis filled with crime, there's one weapon the bad guys fear most.
Wait a minute. Whoa, why is the camera moving around like that?
Lighten up. This is a comedy.
Oh, oops. Tony Danza and Lori Loughlin star in a brand new comedy.
And we promise we won't show you that guy's butt.
Hudson Street, this fall on ABC.
Whoa.
Subway is suddenly on my mind. It's a 6-inch spicy Italian, the tuna, the meatball, or the cold cut combo. $1.99 each. The Subway 4. When Subway's on your mind, you'll get here fast.
Don't forget the Frito-Lay chips.
Now Channel 2 is online. Use your computer at home to get news and information from around the world and tell us what you think. 2 online, 231-4227. Finally, tonight, the Super Bowl of sheep-dog roundups. Now, you won't find any pampered pups in this field. Instead, these border collies show off their brains and brawn rounding up herds of sheep at this Colorado competition. It's instinct for border collies to round up anything that runs astray. The dogs run back and forth to keep the herd together, much like a cattle drive. And this year's winner will be featured on the cover of Working Border Collie magazine.
Matt Safino promised us the last look. He had the 5-day.
I do have a 5-day forecast. It shows lots of sunshine and maybe a little bit of morning cloud action as we go into the weekend, but otherwise sunny and warm. 88 tomorrow, about 90 Wednesday, and close to 90 Thursday. Cool off a little bit Friday, Saturday. So this warm, dry spell is going to last longer than one of Liz Taylor's marriages.
Ooh, okay. Hey,
I borrowed that from Ron, too, in case you didn't catch that.
We want to let you know Nightline ahead with the controversy over Nike and the Dallas Cowboys. Should be a very interesting Nightline. That's coming up next.
You bet. Thanks a lot for watching. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow night. Get out and enjoy the weather tomorrow. Matt says it'll be a good one. Good night, everybody.